All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at lesson 13-9, equal areas and fractions. So we're going to learn more about fractions and incorporate area into the lesson as well. Just a little bit of a mixture between what we learned about area and fractions combined into one lesson. So at the top here it says, show 2 ways to separate the squares into 4 equal parts. What fraction shows the area of one of the parts? So we want 4 equal parts here. And then we're being asked to show 1 out of the total parts. Because remember, with fraction, we're solving for the number counted. And we're counting 1 part out of the total. Okay? So we need 4 equal parts. And it tells us to show 2 ways. Well, here's one way, okay, to get 4 parts. Split the figure in half, and now we have 2 parts. And then split each half in half to get fourths, okay? And if I shade in 1 part, I'm again focusing on 1 part, this fraction is 1/4. It's a unit fraction. It's a unit fraction because it has 1 for the numerator out of the total, okay? But it is also called a fraction because this 1/4 area covers the same number of squares as all of the other squares or 1/4 parts in this figure. They each cover 4, they happen to cover 4 square units. They have the same area. They cover the same number of square units. Their areas are the same. So with fractions, we have to make sure that each part is an equal part and it covers the same amount of area. To take that a little bit further, 2 ways again. This is one way. Another way, we're taking the same exact figure. These green squares are congruent, same size, same shape. So if we split both of these into 4 equal parts, but do it a different way, okay? For example, I can instead split this into 4 parts by drawing an X inside, and I end up with 4 equal parts. Each one of these parts is 1/4. Doesn't matter which one I shade in, 1/4. Each one of these parts covers the same amount of squares. 1/4, 1/4. Same amount of area is covered. Okay? Now taking a look over here at D, at this model. Okay? This model shows 2 parts shaded out of a total of 4 parts. But this is not a fraction because the parts are not equal. The parts do not cover the same amount of area, okay? This right here is not a fraction. It cannot be used to model a fraction, okay? So at the top, which one of the following congruent squares has an equal area colored as the square on the right? So we want something that is equivalent to this. And it's important that the word congruent is here. And again, congruent means same size, same shape. Same size, same shape. And we can remember that by the S's, okay? And what we're talking about is the whole, okay? The whole. And with fractions, we talk about wholes. The whole is the same, okay? It's the same square. We're not comparing a king-size chocolate bar to a snack-size chocolate bar. We're comparing the same wholes, okay? This one right here has a total of 4 parts. And out of the 4 parts, 2 are shaded for the fraction 2/4. And again, 2/4, we have to get into the habit of any time that we see a fraction that has a numerator that is exactly half the value of the denominator, we have to realize that it's equivalent, it's equal to 1/2. Okay? So we're looking for 2/4 or something equivalent to 1/2. Answer choice A. We have a total of 3 parts and 2 are shaded. This is 2/3. We need 2/4. Going on to B. We have a total of 4 parts. And out of the 4 parts, 2 are shaded. Possibility dot. Now again, we have to remember that it is a fraction only if the parts are equal. Okay, they cover the same amount of space, equal areas, and they do. C shows a total of 2 parts and 2 are shaded. Same over same, equal to 1 whole. The whole entire square is not shaded here. We don't want C. B is the correct answer. 2/4, 2/4. So even though the figures don't look the same, even though the parts don't look the same, since both of them are congruent, the wholes are the same, and they have the same number of parts, both 4, and each one of those parts is equivalent to the other. Each part covers the same amount of area. They are equivalent. 2/4 is equivalent to 2/4.